Hey, welcome back to the channel. And guys, today I want to talk about being able to purchase anything you can imagine in Steam dollars, provided it's legal. But not just Steam dollars, similar systems to Steam, like whether it be like their brother sister projects like Well Shares or many others, perhaps the Waves token cryptocurrency that we're exploring as well. But to get into this and to understand uh, the importance of being able to use these cryptocurrencies, excuse me, as a money, uh, first let's try to understand why aren't people so willing to accept them as a money or vendors accept them as payments? And to understand that, I think first we should talk a little bit about a similar issue that happens in traditional markets when you have two different currencies and who accepts what and for what reason. So let's just take a quick example. Let's say I'm a car dealer, and let's say a gentleman from Japan wants to buy a fleet of cars from me, and he's offering to pay for them in his currency, the Japanese yen. And so we make an agreement. I say, okay, I'll take this payment in the form of the Japanese yen. We'll close this deal on such and such a date, 30 days from today. And let's say some weird, strange thing happens and we're now contractually bound to this agreement, and the yen suffers a catastrophic drop in value. And now he's getting like my entire fleet of cars for half this value, right? And so I've suffered a considerable loss due to that. Well, there's a similar problem that happens in cryptocurrency that causes vendors and merchants not to want to take them, and of course that's due with the fluctuation of price and the value, and them not knowing exactly where that might end up and how they could end up in a loss, right? And so in cryptocurrency, if there was a way to stop that or solve that problem, then a lot of more vendors would be more readily accepting these cryptocurrencies. So, going back to the traditional markets, I could take that same example and I could say, well, you know what, 30 days from now or so, the deal I made with this gentleman, his dollars might go down in value. So what I need to do, I can go in the market, I can purchase a futures contract that will protect against the decline of that currency, right? So I'm protected, is essentially creating this hedge. I could do that there. Unfortunately, can't really quite do that in cryptocurrency, or at least the structure doesn't exist to where it creates a safe enough mechanism for the vendors and the merchants, right? So let's see if there is a way we can work around that. And so we're going to take examples like Steem and some similar projects like Well Shares, and maybe some things that's going on here with the Waves token that might be, or three tokens that we're trying to integrate into our system to make this possible, where you can purchase anything you can imagine. So um, Steem blockchain has a very unique kind of situation going on with this cryptocurrency. It kind of works on this type of inflationary model within this community where they're moving this value from one another through their rewards pool. Interesting enough, this kind of creates a very interesting situation in that looking at Steem is quite interesting. The pricing mechanism. So let's just take an example. They're kind of compensating each other for posts they create and uh, the content they produce. And generally, what will happen is you will find large variances in the value, right, as the community perceives it and puts it out there. Now, that value model is quite different from, and their money then is quite different from what we'll get in a traditional sense. Like as we're looking at a picture of this ant miner here, this ant miner is can possibly be, if I were to take this as a product and try to purchase it here, and I didn't like the price, I could potentially go someplace else, and they would be selling this ant miner, probably a little cheaper, or what have you, or somebody would be. So to create this kind of competitive pricing mechanism, and also kind of safety for the end user, as then now as a buyer and a seller on the other side, the seller, he would be kind of protected by which how low the price could go, because then he could go to another buyer who offers him a higher price, and the buyer would be protected by a seller who's offering him too high of a price, because then he can go to a seller who's maybe a little bit a less, a little cheaper. What's interesting about how the money is distributed over the Steem blockchain and similar products related to it, is that I could, for example, maybe have a PhD write two papers that are the same papers essentially, and they could be kind of, placed one area and another one placed in another place, on the same type platform, and you would see a variety of prices, pricing mechanism that is could be 90% difference, right? Because their kind of valuation model is kind of it's very hard to gauge, right? You can't really use that model with that. And that kind of makes it even so harder to value the money, because how the money is moving around that economy is hard to say what's valuable and what substantiates the value. But that also kind of creates a unique situation, and being able to use this money to be able to purchase anything from vendors and merchants, especially if they participate in these communities, and that the way they distribute money around each other and create the support mechanism, it could create a cushion for some merchants and vendors. And I'll give you an example. Like, say, taking that same example we did with the cars and the Japanese gentleman purchasing the cars, and worrying about fluctuation, volatility in cryptocurrency. Whereas in a normal situation, you would take a complete loss of the fluctuations and decline in price. You wouldn't be able to go into the market and take an option contract and hedge against it. What you'd end up having is basically a situation where, as the community is moving money back and forth into a project like this, if they support that project, it could create a type of margin, right? Or I'm sorry, a type of cushion. So for instance, as the content comes out, what's available through the marketplace, what's available through the store, they can upvote this content, right? And as they upvote this content and move value into this project, it creates a cushion to where even if there's changes in fluctuation, the vendor, he's able to kind of go, well, I'm losing some money over here, but I'm gaining over here. And so I'm still profitable with this project, right? So in a sense, that could kind of be this cushion to kind of be this artificial price control, right? Kind of be this artificial hedge that vendors and merchants have access to in traditional markets for protection, but they wouldn't have access to in markets like this. So that would depend a great deal on the community. Now, what happens if the community goes, well, that makes sense. It's to my advantage that I can take my dollars and purchase anything with them. I don't have to cash them out into fiat. And ideally, I'm more confident in holding it for a longer period of time, because I know that I can later take those Steem dollars, or those well-shared dollars, or those Waves cryptocurrencies, and I can take them and I can just go buy what I need, what I want, and pretty much anything I want through this merchant who has this hub set up to accept them, right? And I don't have to go looking over here to see, well, does this person offer this that I can purchase it? Or can I find a guy who can sell me a house or a car or a motorcycle? But you kind of get the idea. So it would call for community support. And again, that would be using these cryptocurrencies more as a money, as a real use case for money, and growing the confidence in those dollars, right? And that's pretty much the same scenario you have in traditional markets, right? So how would this work exactly? So one way it could work is that, when we set out what could be our weekly newsletters or weekly reports on what's happening, like if you look right here, we have products in the store. This is part of our advertising package we're running, where you can right now purchase right out of our marketplace, running ads and run an ad campaign, get 25 clicks, get a YouTube and BitTube promotion video for 8,000 Steem, 50,000 whale shares, and estimate about 800 waves tokens, right? And now you're able to kind of spend this in store. But what's the holy grail? What we're really looking for here to do with that is expand these product lists to where you can buy a car within your token. And that is very possible, provided that there could be some safety between volatility, fluctuations, and margins. So one way we're proposing to do this in these type communities is that these communities create these cushions for our projects by funding them, by upvoting our content, post weekly newsletters, and the more value we can collect and money from the community for these projects, the more cushion it creates for us to be able to provide this service that we believe can become this self-sustaining service, because the more confidence is expired, the more people know they can take their money and buy anything with it, the more they're likely to hold money more longer in that currency, boosting the value up in it and giving it more of a sense of security in it, right? Like if I need a particular item, I don't have to go, well, I can't purchase this with Steem dollars or well shares or some other token. So what I need to do is I got to go sell it over an exchange, pay the exchange fees, right? I got to do all that. Then I got to try to come back here and go over there and buy that particular item in the currency, which might be a fiat currency more likely. So this kind of provides a way to get around that. Now, besides that, you can also at this time, if you're have some type of token or project, have an upvote token or something like that, I believe the price now you can list on our decentralized token listing service. I believe you can list now for like around. It'll come to me in a second. I think it's like about 1,500 Steem right now. Probably about something like 20,000 well shares. And, with that package, what we provide is you get on the front page. See if I can take it here to the front page. And you get your token actually listed, links back to it, price quotes, and things like that. Let's see here. Yeah, there we go. See, and you get this listing of your tokens. You can see us in the front. That looks like that's been rigged. Looks like somebody knew somebody and got us to the top position there. But you can list all your tokens here, and you can pay for this. You can actually pay for this service in your token, right? You don't have to. You can do that right now. We can provide those services right now. But we're trying to get to a point with this, guys, and I think we can with you guys' support. And I think the impact it will have on cryptocurrencies actually be used as a money. I think they will be very far reaching, and maybe a good model and example in the future of how this can be achieved. But as we can see it right now, there are only a few cryptocurrencies that may provide us that cushion, that protect that margin to do that. And we believe it can be done by the upvoting of the posts and the content on Steemit, a lot of our content and a variety of things like that. If we can gather enough capital to create a great cushion, we will be able to provide many quality products, pretty much anything you can imagine, and you can go right through our service here, and you would be able to basically purchase just about anything you could think of. Now, I want to show you this as well too. Okay, you see here where it says post to post the classifieds. Let's click on that. So let's say you're a person who you're interested in products like this. Maybe you got something to sell, right? I'm going to show you something real cool here that you can do. I'm not signed in, but I want to show you guys that. I won't sign in front of you, but I should have signed in before I forgot to do that. But it's very cool layout and setup. But you can post to our classifieds, right? If you got anything to sell, and you can sell it in whatever token you wish, right? For free. So you can list and post whatever you want. You don't have to go through us, right, to do that. But here's the only problem, or here's what we provide as a alongside with that. Through the classified services, you can post jobs, services, items, right? If you got a couch at home you want to sell, you can sell for cryptocurrency. You just come in for free, start posting up stuff, putting out stuff for sale, right? No problem. Free. Just need to register. You can do it for free. It's like Craigslist for cryptocurrency. But where we go a step further with this particular service, we do like an escrow account type thing. So if you're posting a job or you want to sell an item, but you want your money protected, you can do it through our cryptocurrency, and we'll keep it in escrow for you. That way, everybody gets paid, right? You don't have to trust somebody to send your product, right? So we have that available in the Bitcoin NYK token. You will have to use that for that service. But let's say if you got Ripple and you want to sell a couch for some Ripple, you just come on here and do that. Anybody seeing it who wants to pay for it in Ripple, they can do that. So you can also use this as well to move products. But what we're saying is in the marketplace, and let's go back to the marketplace we have available here. What we're saying to you all in the marketplace is that you're going to be able to buy anything. Like, you don't have to go looking for anything. You'll be able to buy any and everything, right? And it'll be mailed and shipped to your house. So let's get down here to the order forms. So you can see kind of how this order form looks here, and how, some of the products you can select. I'm going to try to hit that again. Okay, so you can select our token, BTM tokens. We have in-store credit. That's for when you stake. And whilst you're staking, you can kind of spend your staking rewards before you get them, right? You can, the ones that while it's accruing, right? You can spend it like a credit, like a store credit, because your token's going to be locked up until you can take them out. But you'll be taking it out without your stake tokens. Steem, Well shares, and Waves tokens, which we're working on now. We're going to be trying to see how we can incorporate Waves. But right now, we believe the way Steem and Well shares works, it can be incorporated quite easy into this model. And so you can purchase a lot now with them. And Waves, you can purchase Waves too with the products you see. But like I said, the goal is to have it to where you can purchase all these phones. You can purchase any item that you can think of. You're going to be able to purchase that. And so if you're interested in products like this, if you're really interested in making your cryptocurrency a money where any vendor can take it, or you can take your money, you can buy anything you can think of with it. You can contact us. You can come over to the site, check it out, start using it to purchase items. If you see an item you can't purchase, it might be that that item might not be available in your cryptocurrency as of yet, but as we get more community support on the project, it will be. And so very, very interesting. This could achieve the holy grail of making your cryptocurrency something that is really acceptable to every vendor, every product imaginable. And that's what it will be, guys. We're not just talking about if you found a shop in the corner. We're going through a worldwide marketplace to pair up buyers and sellers. We'll be like the middleman, of course, and be able to get all these people transacting this business back and forth. But what it does is when people come into the cryptocurrency, know they can do such a variety of things, no problem, with their cryptocurrencies, besides just holding them and staking them and hoping that the market doesn't crash on them and having no real use cases for their tokens, then we think this will be a great situation for them. But that's all I want to say in this, guys. If you've heard great things in here that interest you, get over to the site. You can learn a great deal more about it. That's all I want to say right now, guys. If you like content like this, don't forget to like, subscribe, And until next time, take care.